Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're taking a look at the Ardmore distillery, Dustin. We have here with us a 17-year Ardmore from Gordon and MacPhail, 2003 vintage, 54.9 refill sherry hogshead. Have we had done an Ardmore before?
Nope.
I thought Keith brought one time. Oh, that's not even close. We'll get that worked out. So Ardmore, we know, is a Highland distillery. We really haven't had too much from this distillery. We know it's close to Speyside, but it's not Speyside. I don't know exactly how that works geography-wise, but we're trying to even out these pours.
I know the most important part here, Mike, is it is very much not by the sea, so shouldn't have any coastal notes from what I can tell. I do believe, however, this is a lightly peated malt. But I've had one Ardmore, and it was a 30-year-old, and I bought it a day before I turned 31 because I wanted to have a whiskey my age.
Yeah.
And only had one day left.
Get it done. It exponentially gets more expensive every year.
Oh, yeah. And I was able to talk the girl at the store into give me a little discount because I just kept staring at it thinking if I could afford it. And she was like, I can knock 10% off if that helps. And I was like, you just read my mind.
Yeah, Dustin, give him that look. Looking on the glass. Read her mind.
Whoa, Mike.
That's refill sherry? Good. Wow.
Not just that, like the alcohol punch. This is incredible nose.
Sherry and red hots. That's just getting used to it.
Wait, no, is it red hots or is it
cinnamon? Some spicy cinnamon, it feels like. You can convince me of brown sugar and cinnamon mixed.
There is something this is reminding me of, and I cannot think of what it is, but it's a distinct thing I have smelled before.
Something Christmassy. Almost like clove on brown sugar.
Then you get like the alcohol, diesel, like punchy.
How old is this whiskey? 17 years? 196 bottles, Dustin.
What in the hell is this?
That is so aggressive, that sherry.
Like, is it a French oak? I mean, it's like
that
French
might be
oak or something.
Yeah,
like
it could be.
French oak, or is it maybe finished in a sherry butt after being in French oak? Like, it's almost like virgin French oak than sherry.
Refill sherry hogshead. That's, again, with these blinds we get sent, I mean, we just give whatever the information you gave us is what we're giving you.
This oak is insane.
Yeah, it's aggressive. Flaming chocolate.
Chili powder and chocolate. You ever had that?
No, but I can make the leap. I can go chocolate a little bit different. Fondue chocolate.
Okay.
Chocolate fondue.
I've had a few beers that actually mixed cayenne pepper with like a chocolate malt like stout. And let me tell you, it's an interesting thing. This is way more cayenne than those beers ever did.
Yeah, there is something very red pizza pepper packets as far as the stinging spice note on this.
All right, my nostrils have gotten used to that pepper spice thing, and now I'm just picking up a really nice oak. This is quality oak. I don't know if this is like Spanish oak or French oak.
And we want to put
American.
We want to put the Islas off for later, man. This is aggressive.
Yeah, the way we order this stuff usually, guys, is we kind of think a little bit about ABV, a little bit about peat levels, and a little bit about sherry. And we thought this would be kind of on the lower peat, not super high sherry. The proof isn't super high. It would be fine.
So far, we made poor decisions.
We misread this one completely. Unless everything else is a banger in terms of this kind of nose, and then we've got a Port Charlotte coming that's going to really disappoint us.
So we do the best we can with the information we got, which isn't much.
Oh, man. Now I'm getting really nice, like just kind of sweet candy notes.
There is sweeter notes building, along with almost like a coal-fired, almost Glendronach-esque coal-fire note.
I can get with that for sure.
This is by Glendronach, if I'm not mistaken.
Very close, but that doesn't mean they're coal-fired.
I agree. That has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, it's getting really chocolatey now, too, for me.
The chocolate went from burning to settle down to it's fondue now, but still a little bit warm.
Dude, I got like Tootsie Rolls and brownies.
Definitely fudge brownie. Cold Stone Creamery.
I got like day-old brownies that have got nice and hard and chewy.
Oh, yeah, a little crispy.
Yeah.
They smell almost more sweet that way.
Agreed.
Yeah, this is an aggressive, strong, rich smell.
Yeah, this is... Wow.
I still get a little bit of twinge of something red, cinnamon, but it's not. Usually, you say cinnamon, it's an overpowering note. Dare I say, it's a light cinnamon. White cinnamon, as I like to mention.
Yeah, that first nose, man. You got to see my face, Mike. When you go to edit, you're going to be like, I just literally was like, what is that?
I knew when your reaction was there, I was like, oh, good.
And then I just looked over at you like, I got to see your thoughts when you do this.
Good. We're in for a treat.
I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, so it's a little hard to get past the first 4 or 5 things. I mean, again, good sherry, strong. Like, the distillery characteristic really isn't a ton. I'm not getting that ton, really.
I don't know the distillery well enough to really dig in. I've been close to picking up a few Cadenhead Ardmores that have been floating around lately. They're like 10-year-olds and
Smell, so I don't know if kind of like that coal note is something that coal fire, where I'm calling it coal fire note. I don't know if that's actually from coal fire, or if that's from a light peat, or if that's from the char of the cask or something like that.
Again, like, this is one of those distilleries that's been on my bucket list to really get into and try, but I haven't seen a lot of official bottles. And as you know, Mike, I tend to not like going the independent route because they have their own classic, just character that they carry on. This is not reminding me of any Gordon MacPhail I've ever had.
I'm getting here at the end, burnt bacon pieces. Like when people like bacon either, fatty or burnt. I'm a burnt guy. But even like when it's burnt, a couple chips just fall off on the side, the edge pieces, get a little bit of that burnt bacon.
Maple bacon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can get with that. Sure.
I wasn't going maple until you started talking about bacon notes. And you know what?
I was also going to say beef tips, but it's not beef tips. It's like blunter, fattier meat and something saltier.
I've had like a filet kind of thing where some kind of fancy sauce was used that gave almost like a hinting on purple sweetness notes.
Yeah. Like a bourbon glaze or something?
Not a bourbon glaze. It would have been like a red wine glaze, but it was super, super sweet. This is in that realm. It's not the same, but it's in that realm. My point being is, I definitely think this could be on some fatty beef or pork.
This sherry note's almost like, reminds me a twinge of Arbid Dark Cove committee release. Jason's, the 55.
I don't know if it's that sweet.
No, just I'm sorry. Did I say what it reminds me of, like the chalky sherry note, like that aggressive kind of sherry note in it?
Yeah, it's definitely not that level of sweetness here. I mean, it's a different kind of sweet. This is more like vanilla. That's more chocolate.
All right, I see you stalling, so I'm going to go in for
the
taste.
Go for it. I'm still trying to figure this nose out. It's so interesting because it's got this mixture of sweet, spicy, and this really interesting oak note, the sherry note, but then there's a smoke that I'm really thinking must be the Ardmore coming through with some light peat. It's a peat I don't know, though, so it's a Highland. Ooh. God, it's intense.
Spice, chocolate, super intense. When you swallow that, chocolate comes back hard. Oak, I don't know if it's oak smoke or peat smoke, but there's a light wisp of smoke. It's kind of a white smoke. Initially, you put it on there, big spice, big chocolate. As soon as you swallow, big chocolate again. It's hot. It stings. And then here's the long layer. Maybe some type of red fruit, red apple skin, more chocolate, wisp of white smoke.
You could almost convince me this is like spiced chocolate with a raspberry glaze.
Something red came in at the end.
With a vanilla topping thrown in there too. And they smoked it before they gave it to you. A nice little flame on there.
It's hot.
What is this?
Like the chalkiness, like just remains on the sides. Again, there's elements. This reminds me of 4816, 1998. It's the sherry cask.
This is so sweet, though. Like the overall, initial arrival is one of the sweetest whiskeys I've ever had.
But it's so spicy.
Well, the spice comes in after, but initially, when it first hits your tongue, it is so sweet.
Sweetness doesn't last a ton for me, especially on the palate. As soon as it hits your tongue, yeah, I agree. It was sweet at first, and I guess it was always there to some degree. But the spice hits so hard, and as soon as you hit the mid palate, and as soon as you swallow, the chocolate swell comes strong, and it is not let go easy. I mean, I still feel.
The thing is that this is every flavor turned up to 11 in a way. I can't think of another whiskey that's been this intense on the sweetness. And you're right. The spice comes in intense and balances it. But just the initial arrival is just oh my God, that's sweet. Wow, what a whiskey.
Yeah, it's so punchy. What's the ABV on this again? 54.9. It's punchy. I mean, in a good way.
Yeah, I'm trying to level set here to what even like how to score a whiskey like this. It's different.
This is Hagler Hearns. Like, everyone's throwing haymakers. Like, spice, chocolate, you know what I mean? Just look out. Like, this ain't going the distance.
It's not a balanced whiskey. I don't know if that's a problem here.
It's a balance in one regard. Everything's aggressive.
It is bold.
Which, that means it's not balanced. Yes, very bold. Yeah, I mean, those are the main dominant flavors I'm getting. I'm probably missing a few things, Dustin, only because those three things are so dominant and so aggressive. You know, I'm probably missing some nuance. I mean, now with water, I'm getting a little bit more vanilla, sure. That vanilla is kind of a creamy whipped vanilla. Almost like buttery mashed potatoes. And vanilla extract, not even vanilla extract, it's not even that sweet. Not on the nose.
That is Highland Peat on the finish, for sure. Which is a very, like, it's a more spicy peat. This is kind of giving me, like, some Lecheg reminiscent
You know what?
notes.
Yeah, the sherried ones.
It's not as dirty as Lecheg is. The malt here is sweeter. It's more approachable. But the peat is very Lecheg, Highland Peat. Oh yeah, that's definitely coming from the malt. If that's not the malt, I'm going to be shocked. But yeah, oh my goodness, the smokiness is really, really lingering now on the finish.
The water made it smokier.
Yeah, it did.
That's got to be peat or wood smoke too. It's not just like the chocolate. I mean, or
No,
like
it's the malt.
Yeah,
it's definitely peated. I'm really liking this peat. And it doesn't even that plasticine kind of thing that Lecheg does, where I'm a little less fan of it.
I'll tell you what, now I know why Speyside didn't let him in. They ain't playing by the rules.
No, this ain't Speyside.
No.
Whew.
Yeah, it's almost getting a little gritty there at the end with water.
I mean, this reminds me nothing of your traditional Highlands. I mean, this is...
No.
People start talking about the regional flavors. Ardmore said, yeah, go F your style.
I mean, I would have guessed this Island or not Campbelltown, but, you know, I mean, this is an aggressive taste.
This was meant to be on its own little place. Like, oh, yeah, it's one of those islands over there. They do some crazy stuff.
They must get their barley from somebody else. Guy who sold at the lowest price out in the middle of nowhere.
This is intense.
It is. Wow. Like, we want it gritty.
Gosh.
Could you imagine if it wasn't this sherried? It's probably hiding something that would deter most men.
It would definitely be a freaking punch to the dick.
All right, Dustin. Whiskey score time on a blind whiskey review we know nothing about. We know it's 17 years old. It's cask strength. We know nothing about Ardmore. We know this is a refill sherry cask. This is a fun whiskey.
Yeah, it is.
Between two scores, I'm going to give the higher of the two. I just like it. 89.
Yeah, I was right there with you. 89 as well.
Yeah, it's better than 80. It's better just a fun whiskey.
I was debating 90 because it's so fun.
It is. It's right up our alley, too.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly punchy, slightly peated, smoky, heavy
sherry. Yeah. Aggressive, if not heavily, however you want to say it. Like, you're going to know it's there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't say 90 because I can't imagine this is well balanced. I'd have to spend more time with it, add more water, but...
I can't imagine.
Fun.
For sure.
This kind of reminds me a little bit of that PX Springbank 10.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense that it's just fun whiskey. This is a totally different experience, but it's punchy, it's aggressive.
If it's your style of whiskey, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's like having Dennis Rodman on your basketball team. Like, you hate him if he ain't on your basketball team. You think he's a garbage baller, but he's on your team. Like, you know what? I was lying. All right, so those are our thoughts. This particular whiskey. We haven't had many Ardmores, so if you guys have anything that you think we'd be interested in, there are pretty solid offerings that we can get somehow. Please let us know. We'd like to try more from this distillery. I want to. Now I'm interested in the story. Now I want to dig in and see.
Yeah, I know there's locally there's like a 10-year Madeira or something finished just dark as hell, Mike, but 46% unfortunately.
We'll go after it.
Maybe I'll pick it up. Anyway, those are our thoughts on the whiskey. Again, if you guys had a chance to try this one, let us know what you guys think. Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks? Happy wow drinking.
Thanks, Mike.